नियम से ऊपर हो गई। भारत लोकतंत्र देश है, यह नियम से चलता है। हमारा लोकसभा राज्यसभा का प्रोसीड्यूर्स है, रूल्स है, रूल्स ऑफ बिजनेस जो कंडक्ट करता है। कंडक्ट एक तो तरीका होता है। राहुल गांधी कोई रूल को मानते ही नहीं, वो तो सोचते कि सदन से ऊपर है, और उसके कांग्रेस के सीनियर लीडर उठ की ताली बजा रहे हैं। कितना दृश्य देख करके भी खराब लगता है। लेकिन मैं अभी भी कहना चाहता हूं, राहुल गांधी जी थोड़ा अपना बुद्धि लगा करके अपने एमपीओ को भी समझाइए और खुद भी नियम का पालन करना चाहिए, ये मेरा रिक्वेस्ट है। और चाइना बॉर्डर को लेकर के कांग्रेस पार्टी ने जो पाप काम किया है उसके लिए माफी मांगना चाहिए।
कोई राहुल गांधी के खिलाफ मोर्चा लगाएंगे?
वो तो बात की बात देखा जाएगा, लेकिन पहले वो टैंक लेकर के आने का जो बात कर रहे थे चाइना बॉर्डर में, वो किताब मैगजीन बात करके वो भारत को कमजोर दिखाने के लिए अपना एक षड्यंत्र रचा रहे हैं। ऐसा कुछ नहीं होगा। नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में भारत 1 इंच सरेंडर नहीं कर सकता है। और कांग्रेस को उस जमाने में 50-60 साल पहले जो जमीन चीन के कब्जे में दिए थे वो वापस लाओ, नहीं तो आप वो हमारा बीता हुआ कल तो लौटा नहीं सकता है, तो कम से कम माफी तो मांगो।
सर इंग्लिश में बोल दीजिए ना।
इंग्लिश तो हो गया ना?
हिंदी में बोला आपने।
हाँ,
इंग्लिश में बोल दीजिए।
वो तो मेरा ख्याल से हो गया।
बोल दीजिए ना सर।
हाउस जाना है ना, टाइम हो गया। हाँ
5 मिनट टाइम है, बोल दीजिए ना।
हाँ, 2 मिनट है, 1 मिनट है।
फटाफट 40 सेकंड में बोलिए। 40 सेकंड में बोलिए सर,
हो।
इंग्लिश चैनल।
We are extremely disappointed with the behavior of the leader of opposition, Sri Rahul Gandhi ji. Today, despite the ruling by Honorable Speaker, Rahul Gandhi ji was defying the ruling of the chair. It never happened before. When the chair gives the ruling, either chairman or the speaker gives the ruling, every member has to obey. But Sri Rahul Gandhi has demeaned his own position by defying the order of the speaker. Rahul Gandhi has no right to speak about China-India border because we have lost huge chunk of Indian territory in 1959 and 1962. This all happened during Congress time. During our time, Modi ji's time, our borders are secured. I come from Arunachal Pradesh. Every inch of territory is secured. Every village is connected. Every border point is connected with road, mobile phone, electricity, water supply. But during Congress time, all these borders were left to most backward region. The Congress party has no business to talk about the borders of our country. And they must apologize for surrendering huge chunk of land during 1959 and 1962. So that humiliation what we received in 1962, Congress has to apologize to the nation.
Are we expecting any action against Rahul Gandhi?
That we will expect.
Well, that was Kiren Rijiju, who's making it very clear that the House cannot function if the leader of the opposition is not willing to abide by the rules enshrined for his conduct in the Lok Sabha. Remember, Rahul Gandhi earlier in the day tried to quote from General Narwane's memoir, which was strongly objected to by none less than the Defence Minister in the presence of the Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the Home Minister Amit Shah. Whether at all there's going to be any action that the Treasury benches would want to take against Rahul Gandhi by putting across a notice to the Speaker or not. But very clearly, Kiren Rijiju over there stating that Rahul Gandhi flouted the rules because the Speaker, Om Birla himself, under ruling 349 had barred Rahul Gandhi from quoting anything from either a book that has not been published, newspaper or a magazine. But Rahul Gandhi wasted the entire time allotted for his speech. As he got up, he rose to make an address on the motion of thanks for the President's address during the budget session. He says that this is how you are wasting the valuable time and the money to the state exchequer when the parliament is in session, and then the opposition claims that they are not being given a chance to make a statement, that their voice is being scuttled.
Letting me speak on the presidential address, I was raising a fundamental issue about the relationship between China and India and what happened on the Kailash Ridge between armies. I'd like to go to what Mr. Naravane said. No.
राहुल गांधी जी थोड़ा सुधर गए होंगे, वो सुधरते नहीं है, सेम चीज भी रिपीट कर रहे हैं। ये तो रूलिंग हो चुके हैं, सदन को चलने दीजिए। कहने के लिए बहुत बातें हैं सर।
It's a matter of national security. It's a matter of national security. Chinese forces were right in front of our forces. Chinese forces, our forces had taken Kailash Ridge, sir, in eastern Ladakh. Chinese forces.
अध्यक्ष महोदय, मैं व्यवस्था चाहता हूं कि ये जो बात जो नेता प्रतिपक्ष कह रहे हैं, इसकी जानकारी उनको कहां से प्राप्त हुई है, इसके आधार क्या है, मैं जानना चाहता हूं। यह पूरी तरह से काल्पनिक बातें यहां पर सदन के समक्ष रखकर पूरे सदन को गुमराह, केवल सदन को ही नहीं बल्कि सारे देश को यह गुमराह करना चाहते हैं। इसलिए मैं आपसे अनुरोध करूंगा कि इस विषय पर इन्हें बोलने से रोका जाए। क्या बात करते हैं?
Sir, Chinese forces were approaching Kailash Ridge. 4 tanks.
एक सीमा होता है, हर एक मेंबर का एक दायित्व बनता है। राहुल गांधी जी एक व्यवस्था तहत जो अपना बात रखना चाहता है, हम लोग बार बार बोल रहे हैं कि हम लोग सुनना चाहते हैं। जो चीज नहीं बोलना चाहिए, जिसका परमिशन नहीं है, आप बार बार बोलते हुए आप क्या हासिल करेंगे? देश को नीचा दिखा के आपको क्या फायदा मिलेगा, ये बताइए। हमारा और आपका मतभेद हो सकता है, देश हित में हम सबको एकजुट आना चाहिए, इसमें तो कोई मतभेद नहीं है। आप एक ऐसा चीज बता रहे हैं जिसका कोई सोर्स नहीं है। किसने राहुल गांधी जी को बताया कि चाइनीज टैंक यहाँ खड़ा है, इंडियन टैंक यहाँ खड़ा है? जिस चीज का यहाँ चर्चा नहीं हो रहे है वो चीज चर्चा कर रहे हैं। हमारा सिर्फ बहुत ही सीमित राहुल गांधी जी से मैं अनुरोध करना चाहता हूँ, आप कृपया करके ऐसा चीजें इस सदन में मत बोलिए जिससे हमारा सेना का मनोबल गिरेगा, देश को नुकसान होगा। ऐसा बात मत कीजिए। स्पीकर साहब ने रूलिंग दे चुका है, हम लोग सब सुनने के लिए बैठे हैं। प्रधानमंत्री जी भी आए थे, सब लोग बैठे हैं, सुनने के लिए बैठे हैं हम लोग। आप चर्चा पे जो भी बोलना बोल सकते हैं, लेकिन नियम के तहत बोलना पड़ेगा आपको।
So, Chinese एक मिनट सर, ये बात सर 31 अगस्त 2020 में शुरू होती है। 4 टैंक्स हिंदुस्तान ने कैलाश
सदन की कार्रवाई सदन नियमों प्रक्रियाओं से चलेगा। मैंने इस विषय पर व्यवस्था दे चुका हूं। मैं पुनः आग्रह करता हूं माननीय सदन के नेता से कि वह महामहिम राष्ट्रपति जी के अभिभाषण पर बोलें, महामहिम राष्ट्रपति भाषण पर बोलें। आप राष्ट्रपति अभिभाषण बोले, मुझे कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, लेकिन आप
सर, मैं नेशनल सिक्योरिटी पर बोल रहा हूं। नेशनल सिक्योरिटी सेंट्रल है प्रेसिडेंट भाषण का।
आप एक मिनट माननीय सदस्य, आसन से व्यवस्था देने के बाद भी आप लगातार आसन की व्यवस्था का अवमानना कर रहे हैं। मेरा आपसे विनम्र आग्रह है कि आप सदन की मर्यादा को बनाए रखें। आप महामहिम राष्ट्रपति के अभिभाषण पे बोले, नीतियों पे बोले, पॉलिसी पे बोले, आलोचना करें, लेकिन राष्ट्रीय हित के विषय पर अगर हम सेना की या सेना के कृत्यों की आलोचना करेंगे तो ये उचित नहीं होगा।
सर, स्पीकर सर, जो हुआ है सर, वो सेना के सब लोगों को मालूम है। वो छुपा नहीं है उनसे। वो आप यहां जनता से छुपाने की कोशिश कर रहे हो, बट वो रियलिटी देश का हर जवान जानता है। उनके कमांडर इन चीफ नरवाने जी, चीफ ऑफ आर्मी स्टाफ जी।
सदन की कार्रवाई अगर आप नहीं बोलना चाहते, आसन की व्यवस्था को नहीं मानना चाहते, क्या है? मैं तो चाहता हूं आप बोलिए, सदन आपका है, आपको बोलना है। राष्ट्रपति के भाषण में बोले, आप नीतियों पे बोले, आलोचना करें, जो कुछ कहना है कहें। मैं किसी को रोक नहीं रहा सदन में सर, मैंने पहले भी कभी नहीं रोका, लेकिन आप सदन के अंदर उन तथ्यों पर बोले जो देश के हित में है, ये तो आग्रह कर सकते हैं।
सर, मैं राहुल गांधी जी से अनुरोध करता हूं, आप बार बार उस चीज का जिक्र कर रहे हैं जिसका जानकारी आपको नहीं है। किताब के बारे में और जो मैगजीन के बारे में कोई पुष्टि नहीं है। आप बार बार हमारा आर्मी को नीचा दिखाने के लिए बार बार स्टेटमेंट दे रहे हैं, ये तो ठीक बात नहीं है सर। और दूसरा सर, अगर मेरा रिक्वेस्ट ये है, अगर राहुल गांधी जी अगर हमारा बॉर्डर के बारे में बात करना चाहते हैं
माइक चालू
तो कांग्रेस पार्टी आज सदन में बताए 1962 में हमारा कितना जमीन आपने चाइना में सरेंडर किया। हमारा कितना जमीन सरेंडर किया आपने
की जाती है।
And with that, the Speaker made it clear that they have adjourned the proceedings of the House. But once again, the House had resumed the proceedings amid noise and din, with Rahul Gandhi resorting to making a direct reference to General Narwane's memoir once again. That was strongly objected to when Defence Minister Rajnath Singh had made an intervention saying that the excerpt or what Rahul Gandhi is saying over here, what is the exact source of Rahul Gandhi's information? He was backed by Kiren Rijiju, who also says that do not use this opportunity to cast aspersion on the army. This is not the time for it. Do not make statements that is going to humiliate the army per se. The Speaker time and again reminded the Leader of the Opposition that you are flouting the said rule under 349. The Speaker had already made a ruling asking Rahul Gandhi to refrain from making statements that are being quoted from an unpublished book, from magazine and newspaper. And this is not the first time around the Speaker is trying to enforce these rules on any member of the Parliament. But as Leader of the Opposition, Rahul Gandhi ought to be responsible in his conduct and his statement. The Speaker time and again told Rahul Gandhi that you have the time allotted to make a statement, to respond to the vote of thanks to the President's address for the budget session. And do not use this time to try and deviate from the subject matter. You can speak on the speech of the President, you can speak on government's policies, but don't deviate from the subject matter and quote from the said General Narwal's interview from a private magazine. that has got no basis of authentication, is what the defense minister had to say. My colleague Brijesh Pandey is joining me right now. Well, Brijesh, we saw once again fiery exchanges. This time around, the House did resume after Kiren Rijiju held a press conference where he was very clear, where he's saying that we are not going to let a House function when the leader of the opposition is not willing to abide by the rules. The rules are no different for the leader of the opposition, and Rahul Gandhi has to be mindful when he is trying to make statements that are irresponsible without any basis. Then, of course, we saw this fiery exchange between Defence Minister Kiren Rijiju and Rahul Gandhi, and now the House stands adjourned.
Well, I think, if you look at the start of the Rahul Gandhi speech, the Speaker has made it very clear. The Parliamentary Affairs Minister, Kiren Rijiju, made it very clear. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh got up and said that, you are quoting from a book which is not published. First, clarify whether the book has been published or not. What is the source of your source from where you are quoting this? And then both, the Parliamentary Affairs Minister, the Speaker, the Home Minister, they all try to impress upon the Leader of Opposition, saying that, that you cannot violate the rule of the House, and under Article 349, you cannot quote from these things. And they also, the Loksabha Speaker, Om Birla, also tried to impress upon the Leader of Opposition by saying that there is no rule where you can, when you are standing here to reply to the President's speech, that you can start a completely different issue altogether. But despite repeated objections, despite repeated rulings by the chair of the Speaker, the Leader of the Opposition, Rahul Gandhi, continued to quote the article, continued to talk about the situation, continued to quote from General Nirvane's unpublished book, and this has led to a lot of back and forth from the Treasury benches and the opposition party. And this is the reason why I think the House has been, first it was adjourned for 1 hour, and now I think House has been adjourned for the day.
Absolutely, Brijesh. Managing Editor Karthikeya is also here with us. Karthikeya, you've been watching what has panned out during the day. This is the first day of the vote of thanks where Rahul Gandhi, leader of the opposition, was given a chance to make a statement, the opening remarks. But he went on quoting from General Narwane's memoir, which the Defence Minister has says that the fact that the book wasn't allowed to be published was because the issues, the mentions that were made pertaining to the Kailash Ridge were was not authenticated. How do you look at Rahul Gandhi's conduct thereby? How do you look at the opposition still being bullheaded about this entire thing and wasting the time when the Prime Minister was also seated over there in the House?
Let's put the context. The context is, why is the government very agitated? This book has not been allowed to publish. There are multiple reasons, because General Naravane played a very crucial role in the years where our clashes with China took place. So, Naravane was General of the Indian Armed Forces, Indian Army, when Galwan took place. Now, what is he saying as per the article published in Caravan magazine? The article published in the Caravan magazine says three things, and Major General Kochar is also there with us. He's saying two or three things. One, he says that he continued to call the Defence Minister, and the Defence Minister said that he was going to call the Prime Minister, and then Defence Minister got back and said, at a point of time when the Chinese tanks were rolling very near to a post, what is he supposed to do, because any military altercation is a political decision. And he was told that the Prime Minister told the Defence Minister, Jo uchit karwai ho aap karen. Now, it can be interpreted both ways. Now, if the sitting Prime Minister of the country says, you take the decision which is right, I don't think it's a wrong statement. But you can also say that, well, instead of telling me what to do in black and white, he told me what to do, what I think is right. So Mr. Naravane, as quoted by the author of that article, says, he said, I was left with a hot potato. And I'm quoting this article. Now, we can discuss it in newsroom because it's a scoop, it's out there in a magazine, and it has been published. A reporter has accessed the unpublished book. But in Lok Sabha, Raj Sabha, the rules are either you quote the authentic material. If you have read it, you can't do a third party quote on it, which means that if someone has read a book or authentic material, you can't quote that in the House. You read the book and quote it, but there is no book. That's number one. But that's about the Lok Sabha and Raj Sabha, and there is a I would say a narrative war on China. It's a very sensitive subject, and any army man would know that even the out-of-box political or defense mechanism, mini solutions are not possible because of public opinion in India and even in China. Public opinion does not allow any government any political elbow room. So I give that concession to every Prime Minister, from Vajpayee to Manmohan Singh to even Prime Minister Narendra Modi. It's a tough task because there is so much of political opinion in it. The things which even army would want it, diplomats would want it, the government would want it, the public opinion will not allow it. So the quotes in the book is what Mr. Naravne felt at that point of time, the leaks, the mini CCS that were taking place. Did we concede it to China? Now those are matter of interpretation because that reporter claims that this is what Mr. Naravne has written in the book. For me, that becomes an entirely different debate. The question I pose to General Kochhar is, because General Kochhar had served in the higher command, I mean to say those who take the decision or took the decision for the Indian Army, not the middle command, the higher command. So because that's the main frame. You know, rest I find is are those other details, sir. You must have read it. When General Naravne says it was left entirely to me, I would like you to shed light on that context. I'm sure you have gone through that. What does it mean जब बोला जाए कि आप जो उचित रहे वो आप कदम लीजिए? Please break it down for our viewers. I think that is where the entire narrative of controversy is.
See, thank you, Karthik. See, what is here, I would like to put the things in the correct perspective here for the viewers also to understand. There is a political direction which gets translated into a military direction. Here I am seeing that a particular political direction has been given to the military commander, because once a decision is taken by the political head of the country, he has clearly told you कि आपको जो उचित लगे आप कीजिए, means do things as per the situation on ground and what you feel as a military commander in case there is a serious incursion into the Indian territory. Obviously, the military commander has to take the action. The onus is on him now. So, if I was a military commander there, and if this kind of a direction was given to me, I would take appropriate action without looking over the shoulder now. Because now it is my responsibility. The Northern Army commander in question here, he is the person who would give directions to the local military commander there, who is there on the ground through the channel of command, because you have a corps commander there, you have a brigade commander there, you have a brigade commander there, there is a channel. And especially when you have to take a kinetic action. Because what happens is that without approval of the competent authority, we don't want to start a war with the other nation through irresponsible actions. And that is why these directions are taken from the military commander. A normal firing across the LAC, which we see it happening, like, Pakistan is carried out a mortar, firing on us, and we are retaliating. That does not merit taking a call from a political head of the country, because that is a normal course of action which you will take when the troops are deployed on the border. But here is the question, where the border is with China, a fairly stable border. It is not a volatile border as it was at that point of time. And if there was a serious build-up taking place from the Chinese side, then it is a matter of actually concern, because they came very, very close, and there is an agreement. The 1996, 1997, 2003, all these agreements have been signed on border confidence building measures, and there is a mention in that agreement that up to a certain distance, nobody will deploy these troops. So now if China has flaunted that and it has come closer to the border, then it is the duty of the military commander to inform his political boss, who in turn has told him take appropriate action. So now I feel it is on the military commander here and the chief in particular to direct his army commander to take an appropriate action against the whatever has happened on the border.
Okay, General Kocha, there is one more issue I would like you to put light on that subject. You know, in the entire article,
Karthikeya, I'd like to interject. We have RP Singh with us from the BJP, and then, of course, you can ask a question to Mr. Kocha. Mr. RP Singh, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us here at News 9. We have been playing out on our screens right now all the developments taking place in the Loksabha, the heated exchanges between the Treasury benches and the opposition. How do you look at the leader of the opposition today trying to quote from General Narwane's memoir, which the Speaker has time and again barred Rahul Gandhi from quoting?
Well, the subject of the debate was budget, and he generally tried to digress from the subject. I mean, he generally tried to debate from the subject, and that's what he had done today also. He cherry picks up something from some place and then try to divert the debate. That's the problem. I mean, he should speak on the subject. He was supposed to speak on budget, but instead of speaking on budget, he's speaking on everything else.
RP Singh, Rahul Gandhi, the leader of the opposition, is also trying to challenge the government by saying that if you have nothing to hide, if you have nothing to be scared of, then why are you not letting me quote this, even if it's from an article or from a magazine? We're not going to get into the technicality of the proceedings of the House. How do you look at that?
Well, again, I reiterate. I mean, what is the subject of the debate today? What is the session for? And then you try to bring some, you can ask for it, you can ask for the debate on that subject, but you need to, there's a proper procedure, parliamentary procedure for any debate to happen on any other subject. But he doesn't believe in rule of law. He says that is his way or highway.
Okay, thank you, Mr. RP Singh, for taking your time and joining me here at News 9. My colleague Karthikeya had a question to Mr. Kocha.
General Kocha, there is also a very interesting thing, you know, the General writes in that book. He says that, you know, suddenly there was surprise that earlier the talks used to happen between diplomats, and suddenly the PLA was inducted into the conversation that was taking place at the commander's level, you know. So, do you think that China was altering the game by inducting PLA officers in having a conversation, you know, in India-China talks on border? Why did China do that? Because I think that's also something very peculiar. He says that, you know, we never expected that China would do so. Why did they do so in your understanding?
You see, in my understanding, because I've studied China in detail, I've also written a book on China, Breaking the Chinese Myth. The thing is that China forward troops, supposing if you take a regiment, a PLA regiment, it has a political commissar. Now this political commissar is a political man in the PLA hierarchy, and he belongs, or he is part of the CMC. So he is also a part of their infantry battalion, if I say that. You see, it's unlike the Indian Army structure. Indian Army doesn't have any political representative as part of their army, whereas China has a political representative as part of their army. So it needs a clarification now whether it was a political commissar who was taking part in the discussion, because that would be legitimate, because he is part of the forward troops by itself. But if it was not a political commissar, if it is somebody who was specifically deputed by the top leadership of China, and herein a question is Xi Jinping from the CMC or any part of its political setup, then it is a digression from the normal practice. So I'm not too sure what General Naravne was trying to convey in the book, in the sense that because one has not read the book, it's not in the open public, so it's all been leaked out in parts here and there, and there's no authenticity to those leakages. So I would not like to comment on that. But definitely, if that was the case, that apart from the political commissar, if somebody else was deputed to be part of the talks, that would be a different thing happening from the normal protocol that takes place.
But General Kocha, if I can come in over here and taking a leaf from what Karthik was also saying, that while Rahul Gandhi started off his speech today trying to quote from the memoir that has not been printed anywhere, he was backed by Akhilesh Yadav saying that anything pertaining to China should be taken up with immediate priority.
Can I add to it before you go to General Kocha? You know the larger issue, just to add to your question is, you see what Rahul Gandhi in the Congress has been saying, that we lost out to the China. The government says, Prime Minister went on to record, says, koi hissa China ना कोई अंदर घुसा है ना कोई हिस्सा खोया गया है. He is on record saying that. So the entire premise of this altercation that has taken place today, because the presidential address had to be discussed, and Brijesh, I would like you to come here, is the Congress says that you lost some rights, some areas, some grazing rights, or the position of dominance to China, because they have been able to alter what you call the space where the Chinese could patrol, because we can't go back to those areas where we used to patrol. The government on the other hand says, well, don't talk about our record, talk about what happened during Nehru's tenure. Isn't that, Brijesh? Isn't that the heart of this political contestation? What happened in Galwan?
Well, I think what is happening, Karthikeya, here is that if you remember 2019, the entire election was won with a landslide victory of more than 300 plus seats on what happened across the border. And the entire Lucknow was plastered, and other areas were plastered with posters of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And the Congress party felt that when it came to discourse, when it came to the narration of nationalism or showing or machismo, I would say, then the BJP was able to trump Congress with comfortable ease. They feel that this Galwan incident is one such incident where if they keep on pinning down the Bharatiya Janata Party, they will be able to blunt the narrative. And this is the reason why the Congress loses no chance to hit out at the government. The General very beautifully elucidated what he means by what General Narware might have said. But what the Congress party, and I think what even the General was trying to convey would be that he was left in the lurch by the political leadership, and that is the reason why he was left to fend for himself without any clear direction which would have enabled him to take the hard task. And this is exactly what Rahul Gandhi has been trying to do. The government has responded by saying that you should read the books which are there in the domain about how Nehru quoted China, how he was backstabbed, the kind of defeat India suffered in 1962, and then so on and so forth. The government said that Rahul Gandhi should read that.
I can come in over here. I have paucity of time. But what Rahul Gandhi has said, where he is categorically mentioning that what he is trying to make a statement about is from 2020 August, where 4 Chinese tanks were headed towards the Kailash Ridge. Now, is Rahul Gandhi trying to misquote? Is Rahul Gandhi misleading the House? Is he not stating facts? What is it that Rahul Gandhi is not being allowed to speak about? He wants a discussion on it. He's been backed by Akhilesh Yadav to say that these are sensitive issues, especially pertaining to China, that should be allowed a discussion. But of course, Kiren Rijiju said that these are sensitive matter, and I'm not going to allow you to cast aspersion on the army and the decisions of the heads.
Well, there are two things. As RP Singh was saying, this particular session of Houses, Parliament has been convened to reply to the presidential address on budget. So strictly procedurally speaking, you are supposed to respond to what you feel about the budget, what it lacked, what it shouldn't, and where all the government could have done good, more allocation could have been done, and so on and so forth. Rahul Gandhi completely turned it around. The government is saying...
But he said it's for national security.
But, we all know that national security can be, Rahul Gandhi can lead a delegation to the government of India and say that we want to discuss national security. The fact of the matter is that it's not like this article came into existence a couple of hours before. This article has been in circulation for almost last 48 hours. And General Narware's book, which has been not been published, is there in the offing with anybody who wants to read it. So I'm saying that, it's not like as if some revelation happened and, you cannot just let go of the revelation. It was there in the public domain with anybody, interested or competent enough to dig deep into it. So the government has a point when it says that this particular session is to respond to the presidential address of the budget session. Right. Otherwise, in future, this will lay down a norm where, any government, anybody who is in the opposition party would say, you know, we care two hoots about the procedure. We would want to discuss what we feel is important, is of national interest. So I'm saying that, you know, that the procedurally, yes, you should have responded and you should have raised this issue outside the house. You know, you can, you have a plethora of spokespersons, you know, all of them can come out and attack government as much as possible. Nobody is trying to defend the government whatsoever. Any issue which concerns national security should be discussed, debated. Okay. But I'm saying that this particular procedure, when the chair is ruling, chair is saying that, you know, that you cannot discuss on this because this is something which is in violation of the tenets, then, you know, then you keep on doing it is something which is a bit baffling.
And you see, you have to understand, in 2025, Pew did a research. In that research, 41% of the Indians said that the Pakistan is the biggest enemy, and 33% said that China is the biggest enemy. You know, combined 74% of the people believe. So it's a very sensitive subject, you know. General is smiling, you know, there's a lot of things which these gentlemen must have thought during their tenure to do, but public opinion in China is such that it curtails the political and military thinking, you know. And tell me, General, if I'm wrong.
Mr. Kochar.
Oh, see, it's like this. There are two aspects, you know, to the discussion today. One is the parliament proprietary or protocol. And if it is a budget session, then you have no business to discuss anything else other than the budget. Supposing you want to discuss an issue of national security, then you give due notice to the speaker and then you schedule a discussion, and I don't think the government is going to stop you from discussing that. And one important aspect, you see, we have to understand that whatever we speak in parliament, it has got larger repercussions with our foreign affairs, also the relationships with our neighbors, China and Pakistan, both at the same time. Now, in case we talk about China, whatever you speak here, and you know, it is the highest legislative house of the country, you know, it goes far beyond the borders. So I think one has to be slightly more responsible in discussing matters of national security. And my last point is, it is not necessary for the government of the day to tell you everything what happens on the line of actual control, because there are many things which are classified and they will have no business to actually come out. Even the former army chief, I don't think in propriety it would be correct for me that you correct for him that the moment he demits the office, he starts mentioning those details which are classified in nature. I think that's why the book didn't get its permission to be published. I think that is the larger issue one has to take in mind. And my last point is that the deep state is working in India in a very, very coordinated manner. And they want such issues to come up which are going to embarrass the government. So please don't rule out the involvement of the deep state inside our own country.
Thank you for putting it so succinctly, General Kochar, that the government is not bound by any compulsion that they have to provide any clarification on issues that are classified and sensitive. And thank you, Brijesh Pandey, for taking your time and joining me here as we discuss the first day of the budget session of Parliament, which saw a stormy start between the opposition and the Treasury benches, exchanging barbs over General Narwa's memoir. And with that, we're slipping into a short break right now. Lots more lined up. Stay tuned.
This is India's #1 news network, and you're watching News9, English news as it should be.
यार सोच रहा हूँ पॉलिसी बाजार से टर्म लाइफ इंश्योरेंस ले लेता हूँ ताकि मेरे बाद फैमिली को पैसों की कमी ना। तू भी ले ले। यार अभी तो यंग है यार, बाद में देखते हैं। आजा।
पॉलिसी बाजार पर 0 GST के साथ अब 1 करोड़ का टर्म लाइफ इंश्योरेंस सिर्फ 400 रुपए महीने से शुरू।
When Trump captures Maduro, News9 breaks it first
it's happening far away, but it has tremendous consequence for the world.
What happens next?
Biggest international headline of the hour.
The US has conducted military strikes.
This is the Venezuelan president.
Maduro faces multiple charges, including narco-terrorism.
This is Maduro being taken to the New York court.
Donald Trump indicated that Greenland might be next.
Where will Donald Trump stop?
A dramatic U.S. operation, power shifts in Venezuela. High-stakes geopolitics unfolding. What does this mean for Venezuela? What does it mean for the world? And what comes next? On point with the facts, unmissable insights. In your interest always. Fastest alerts, hard facts, 360-degree analysis. From breaking news to deep dives, when the world changes, News9 leads. News9, always on top.
This is India's #1 news network, and you're watching News9, English news as it should be.
Welcome back. Now, a high-voltage drama erupted in the national capital as West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee went head-on with the Delhi police. Just hours before her crucial meeting with the Election Commission, Mamata Banerjee exploded over what she called excessive police deployment outside Bongo Bhavan in Delhi. In a fiery confrontation, the Chief Minister questioned the cops on the spot. Why are you here? Why are you following me everywhere? Is what West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee had to ask the Delhi police. The Delhi police maintained that they were present only for her security. With tempers flaring and cameras rolling, the standoff has set the stage for a no-holds-barred political showdown in Delhi.
जाके खून ढूंढ रहा है, कोई आया कोई नहीं आया, क्यों नहीं आएगा? अगर जिसको आदमी को डेथ हो गया है वो नहीं आ सकता है, मीडिया को नहीं बता सकता है, वो लोगों का हक है आने का। वो क्या इंडियन का नागरिक नहीं है? जो लोग जिंदा है उसको मृत्यु बना दिया, डेथ बना दिया। इसी के लिए थोड़ा से लोग आया, ज्यादा सो नहीं आ पाए कि हमारा भी SIR चल रहा है, हम भी बिजी है, हमारा भी बजट सेशन चल रहा है। लेकिन दिल्ली पुलिस का हरकत देखो, हम दिल्ली पुलिस को गाली नहीं देंगे कि उसका फॉल्ट नहीं है, लेकिन आप लोग पूरा देखो, पुलिस को दिखाने दो। आप लोग तो बैरिकेड कर दिया उसको, आप लोग प्लीज मेहरबानी करके आप लोग हटा जाओ, थोड़ा साइड हो जाओ। आप ये पुलिस को साइड कर रहे देखिए, सब दिल्ली पुलिस को लेके आया, जिधर में हमारा लोग है, एक पूरा बास भर्ती करके ले आया। देखो, आप पुलिस को दिखाइए, हमको मार दिखाइए, आप पुलिस को दिखाइए, कैमरा उस तरफ घुमाइए ना, कैमरा उधर में घुमाइए। दीदी सुरक्षा के लिए पुलिस कह रही है।
Well, that was Mamata Banerjee, the West Bengal Chief Minister, who made a statement over there saying that she has no bone to pick with the Delhi police per se. They're only doing their job. They've been deployed over here, but she's questioning that why is there a huge deployment and why is she being tracked, why is she being followed by Delhi police if it is not to try and block her movement and keep an eye on the visitors or her meetings with those in the national capital. My colleague Sabyasachi Roy Chaudhary is joining me right now to get us more details. Sabyasachi, you are outside the ECI office in Delhi, and the West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee is here with a delegation of the family members of those who have lost their near and dear ones during the process of the special intensive revision exercise in West Bengal. What exactly is expected here on? When is she expected to come and arrive at the Election Commission's office?
Samia, first of all, outside the ECI office, massive deployment of security personals. Delhi police personals are present. Along with that, central forces are also present. So there are chances that the confrontation that we are seeing between Trinamool Congress Supremo Chairperson Chief Minister of West Bengal Mamata Banerjee, the similar kind of situation also could be witnessed outside the ECI office, because heavy deployment of Delhi police and central forces on ground, and 4 p.m. is the time when Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee will lead the 15-member delegation of the Trinamool Congress to the ECI office to meet Gyanesh Kumar. See, Mamata Banerjee has not come alone to the national capital. Along with her, she has got 100 families which in Bongo Bhavan, in Haley Road, in Chanakyapuri and other places. Now, Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, in the morning, she was with Abhishek Banerjee at the 181 South Avenue. Now, after that, she got the information that the Delhi police, according to the Trinamool Congress, is harassing and restricting the movement of the people who have come from the state of West Bengal. Now, post that, Mamata Banerjee goes to Haley Road, Bongo Bhavan, and after that to Chanakyapuri, and we all saw the confrontation that happened between Mamata Banerjee and the Delhi police. Now, Mamata Banerjee says that when Home Minister Amit Shah visits Kolkata, it is red carpet for the Home Minister. But when the Trinamool Congress comes to the national capital, it is black carpet. Now, the CM is very much clear on the fact that the people of the national capital and the authorities responsible, they have no idea what is happening in the state of West Bengal and how are these people suffering. So that is the reason Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee has got 100 people with her to the national capital, and a 15-member delegation will be meeting Gyanesh Kumar, and Mamata Banerjee, along with several other Trinamool Congress Member of Parliament, has been visiting different places. They in fact